Alright, so I'm just putting together a video for you for how I'm going to vaccinate Moon. Because he had his injury the other day, I realised he actually needs his tetanus. He would have had one when he was gelded, but he wouldn't have had enough to cover him long term. So first off, what I'm going to do, I've got my glove. I'm just going to come up and rub his neck. Oh boy. Keeping in mind that he's not a fully handled horse yet. What I want to do is just mark the area that I'm going to put cream on, so I know when I'm injecting to inject into the right area. What I'm doing is putting on Emla cream, so it's a lidocaine cream to numb the area, and I'm using this because I don't want him to think that I'm hurting him or you know, that needles are bad, that people are bad. Good boy. So just make sure it's getting through the hair, that I've got enough on for that. Good boy. So the numbing cream, I think there's a few different kinds, but read the instructions thoroughly. You can get it from most chemists. I think it's a, it doesn't say if it's prescription only. I think you can get it most of the time if you're getting injections done, because it's, you know, so much nicer than that's feeling like it's sinking into the skin now. Okay, that gives me a good area to work with. It takes about half an hour to work, so if you wait longer it's going to penetrate a little bit deeper into the skin. So what I'll do now is I'll just leave him alone. I'll set a timer for 35-40 minutes or something, just to let it work a bit deeper, because the needle I'm giving him is intramuscular, so I need him to be not just numb at the skin, he needs to be numb a little bit deeper. And the other thing I'm going to do is bring a bucket feeder down that will be up at his head height, a little bit higher, because you can see if I try to give him his needle there, his neck's quite tight, but when his head comes up, you see that muscle relax, and it's just more clear where you can put it safely. It's not sort of the bone of the neck is moving with, you know, it's just easier to see the anatomy when you're doing it. So that's what we'll do, is we'll have a feeder here and he can eat, and hopefully he won't feel it at all. Oh, and make sure you wear your gloves when you're putting on your cream, or else your hands are going to go numb, and that will be not useful when you're trying to give injections. So I'm annoyed because I just was able to give Moon the needle and I didn't have it on video because I didn't think he was going to let me. But I'm going to just show you after I get him a bit more food what I did to get him ready for it. Good boy. Oh, sorry. It's alright, he's not coming near food, buddy. Here. So all I did was I stood here while he was eating. I scratched his neck because he loves that. So this isn't going to work for all horses, but it worked for him. And I used my pen to push into the spot. So I do need to use two hands for this to show you. Alright, so I didn't think he was properly numb because the cream, even though it's been there long enough, he was still sensitive to touch there. So what I did was, as a distraction, I just scratched and pressed, and that got him quiet enough, and it's probably a little bit sore there now, so I do like scratching, really nice scratches, because he loves his scratches while pressing and then removing. And then pressing, scratching, good boy, good boy. And that also helps to get the area a little bit desensitized with the pressure, and it stops him thinking about it. So then I got my needle out, which I didn't think I was gonna do, but he let me, and I just went, same thing, needle in, and he actually stayed there the whole time. I'm so annoyed that I didn't get it on video, but sometimes these things are just, you know, in the moment it's the right time. Good boy. And it's really good to go back and do this again after, so he is not thinking that it's all just one big nasty stabby thing. Good boy. Good boy. Alright, I'll leave you alone now. You're a very good boy. I don't want to run out of hay before I leave. Good boy. Well, I hope that was useful. The injection I gave was just the Equivac 2-in-1 tetanus and strangles. So he has one of these today, one in about 2 weeks, and then another in about 2 weeks again, and that will have him covered. And then he should have a booster in a year from now. It's just pretty sure just the tetanus, but read the instructions on that first, because I'm going to as well. So this was a leftover one that we had, luckily, and then I'll get him 2 more. Yeah, a much nicer way of doing injections than stressing and having horses fight, having a halter on them. Some horses don't mind, of course, but because he's never had he's never been restrained, and he's also, I think the only time he was restrained and had an injection was when he was gelded, and he was still quite wild, and he was in a crush, and it was all very safe and secure. Whereas now we don't have that set up where he is, so we have to do a lot more training and make things nice for him. And yeah, you can see that was pretty uneventful. Like, even though I might not have got it done today, it would have been preparation for getting it done another day.